It's all baloney. But when people are in shock or in trauma, it's easier to lead a strong man that could defend himself or would recognize something otherwise. When he's in shock, he's shell shocked or whatever, and things are ringing, he doesn't have his senses all together. It's easier to lead him, oh, come over here to safety, or one thing, whatever they want to shift your focus on, the paradigm shift. And it's easier to get, their ball rolling and to put you in a state of, neutrality, of not doing anything.
Well, certainly, coming out of that in this country.
But
well, wait a minute. We saw immediately things getting rammed through. We saw this Patriot Act rammed through, which I've heard supposed constitutional authorities go like, what's the problem with it? There's no problems with the Patriot Act. And also it was rammed through in such quick order. We know it had been prepared long before 9/11. Some people say it was a drug runner type bill that was just transferred or verbiage was changed or what have you. But I wonder if everything was just fine. I wonder if some eyes wouldn't be open to say, well, what?
Mm-hmm. Well, see, that goes back to the tourniquet thing, because I said it with a complete pun in many different levels, and you know how I talk. I guess. Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of different things. I mean, it's a tourniquet for them, and it's a tourniquet for us. And is a tourniquet, to cut off the blood to your head so you're not thinking straight? Is a tourniquet, there's a lot of things involved with that. And as a country, our old way of life, and they all said everything's changed after 9/11. Well,
right.
Our old way of life was dying, and you can't just walk up with a lot of people, even today, and just walk up and kill somebody without having a cause or a reason. Okay? And if you're in shock and somebody provides a solution or a way out, you're more apt to lean towards that solution or way out. It also gives them a control or a tourniquet, so to speak, on the flow of their agenda. They can tighten it up, they can loosen it out, but it's a state of trauma. The whole thing is a state of trauma. And that state that we get in, there's also a recovery period. And when people, like in a battlefield, when people are engaged in a war or a battle or a life-death situation, they get a lot of adrenaline and other things that pump through their body. And when you come out of it, you need rest and relaxation. And if you don't get that, eventually you're going to wear yourself out. And same thing with the monetary finances and all that situation. If all of it were to go, just like of these bailouts and stuff, if all of it were to be revealed at one time, people would put some kind of defensive reaction up. It's like a check valve, a release of steam and controlled measures. So people will get accustomed, okay, that's the way of life, okay, I don't agree with it.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't agree with it, but okay, I see where we're going. There's some kind of plan there. I don't know if it's going to work out, but it helps people put their trust in the system that, quote, hasn't done us like, Nazi Germany or whatever so far, even though we're on that trend, even though we've been in a socialist country for years. We are a communist country. We have been for years.
According to the strict definition.
According to the definition. It just has not been fully implemented. And that's probably the little woman. Yes? Hello? Hey? Fine. I'm fixing to. I don't know. I'm sitting with Nick. Yeah. No, we're at the smoke shop. We're gonna go eat in a few minutes. Why? No. Okay. How much did you take? Okay. Well, you know how you are with alcohol. Just a little sip will get you loopy. That does contain maybe a little bit of alcohol in that herbs. Those are concentrated drops. So it could be that. Yeah. My wife says hello.
Yeah.
He says hi. Hmm. Yeah. We finished. Did Bill like his coupons? Did Bill like his coupons? I brought them back. I have it in the car. Okay? Alright? See ya, maybe. Mm-hmm. Bye. So, yeah, when I say tourniquet, I mean it in a lot of different fashion meanings, nuances. Because
Well, I guess what I'm trying to figure out is the riddle of what the hell's going on exactly. I mean, is this a tie-in to the end times? I mean,
yeah.
um, the guys that created the Federal Reserve, and they called themselves conspirators, by the way, interestingly, there was a public reason for the creation. Their reason,
And he even said the president's even said that it was a bad move on his part.
absolutely, he said, I unknowingly have ruined my country. Wilson said that. Their reason was so that the banks, when they lost money, and they said it was going to be inevitable that they would lose money, that the losses would always be shifted to the people. Which, again, is exactly what we're seeing now. And Bernanke, yesterday, said this: things will be fine. We're going to come out of the recession at the end of the year as long as we keep the banks stable. As long as we keep propping up the banks, everything will be fine. So there it is. Their master plan has been played out. And if you look at economists, socialists, people like that, they're saying the final war will not be with guns. They're saying it's going to be an economic war.
We might be coming into super hyper inflation soon.
Hello? Yes. Yes, Jason.
And there you have it. A little time in the smoke shop. If we weren't going to go eat, might smoke another cigar. Sometimes there's more people here, sometimes there's not. Everyday discussion in the smoke shop. I don't know why I'll title this, probably common smoke shop discussion, something. Yeah, there's so much of it in Scripture, and but he's saying the banks, huh? Save the banks, save the banks. We'll be
Well,
all right.
that's what yes, and